Good evening, family, friends, teachers, guests, and classmates. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to my family. It's hard for me to put into words my feelings of thankfulness towards you all. All the things that I do and will do are possible because of your continuing support. You are all my biggest cheerleaders, yet I can count on wise criticism from you too. You have all helped me become who I am. Tonight is a night of celebration. Through hard work and determination, we have finally reached the end of our high school journey. I bet that most of you, myself included, have had a hard time picturing the day we would be up here waiting to receive our diplomas. And now here we sit in our caps and gowns. For the last 4 years, we have shared our lives with one another. Something I will always be thankful for is that I was able to attend schools with small enrollments. I believe that because of our small numbers, we were able to develop a unique school system. Attending Morale High is almost like being on the TV show Cheers. Everybody knows your name. For a lot of us, Morale High is like a second home. When we think of the word home, what are the things that come to mind? A good home provides care, attention, and encouragement. Morale High gave us all of that and more. Maybe it was from a teacher who understood us and listened when we needed someone to talk to, or from someone who helped us along the way. Or maybe it was simply from a kind smile that made the day a little better. And what's a home without fun and laughter? I will always remember Paul and Robbie's teasing for as long as I live. I can't remember walking by them and not hearing one yell out, "Here comes trouble." Or how about the crazy shenanigans that went on at the pep rallies? For some reason, I don't think I'll ever forget the sight of Mr. Coffin, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Farrell, and Mr. Gillis in drag and singing, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." By the way, guys, the band One Direction just lost a member, so there might be an opening for one of you. A home fosters good relationships, and the relationships we created here in Morale are ones that will not fade away with time. From bonding through sports teams, to being in our small-sized classes, to just hanging out in the cafeteria, we have plenty of time to get to know each other over the past 4 years. I think I speak for all of us when I say that the time we spent together was very much enjoyed. And last but not least, a home is not complete without fresh-baked cookies. Thank you to the cafeteria staff for keeping us fed over the past 4 years. Feeding hungry teenagers is not an easy task, and I applaud you. Although we had so many amazing moments in high school, I want to call attention to all of the bad times we've experienced. I think that in some ways, these are the experiences that we have learned the most from. The failed tests, terrible assignments, arguments, and days when you felt like you couldn't handle it. I think we can all agree that high school isn't perfect, but taking into consideration its good and bad aspects both, our time in high school has been a key part of our character development. Teachers and EAs, on behalf of the class, thank you. Aristotle once said, "Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all." Over the past 4 years, you've been some of the most influential people in our lives. You have taught us about pi, the work of William Shakespeare, cells and reading sheet music, ancient history, carpentry, and many other things that are necessary to a good education. But most importantly, you taught us about life. You made us work hard and learn to fail and try again. You gave us praise when we deserved it. You shared your wit and your wisdom, and those are things that will stay embedded in our minds. Over our 12 years of education, we've asked ourselves many different questions. In grade 1, we asked ourselves, where am I? In grade 2, once we had figured out the system, we asked ourselves, when's lunch? Once we got to high school, the questions we asked ourselves became more complex. In grade 9, I remember constantly asking myself, did I seriously just call break recess again? Every high school math class I encountered spurred the question, what am I doing? And what the heck is a exponential function, polynomial, logarithmic function, quadratic equation, and the list goes on? Or how about Mr. Coffin's English class, where we all asked ourselves, why does Mr. Coffin, hate when we say so much? With each class, the questions we asked ourselves changed. But there is one question we've been asking ourselves for all of our years at MRHS. Was Mr. Farrell a Broadway singer in a past life? After much pondering and hearing as many renditions of classic tunes, I've come to the conclusion that he probably was. Grade 11, with its hectic schedule and heavy classes, prompted us to ask, will this ever end? But then, as quick as a flash, we became the seniors of Morale High School. As the year went by, we knew we were approaching the end of our Maryland life. The question we ask ourselves now is, where am I going next? To the class of 2015, comedian Jim Carrey once said, You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. The future lies ahead as a blank slate for each one of us. We have choices to make, places to go, and things to do. I hope that you take Mr. Carey's advice to heart. Always do what you love, even if it means taking chances. Go out and turn your blank slate into a full one. Congratulations.